what to do.
We're so glad you could make it to the Isle of Roux, where no one can tell you what to do. On air, Isle of Roux, 38th episode, getting together.
Can you do the land acknowledgement?
The Creator gifted us with this land that we are blessed to share and care for together. We acknowledge that the land we gather on will consist as the ancestral territory of the Siksika, Sitapi, the Siksika, the Gaina, the Piikani, and the Amskapi Piikani. We acknowledge all First Nations and Métis of Treaty 7 lands, the Tsuut'ina, the Ithkabi, which includes Bearspot, Chiniki, and Goodstoney. We commit to advancing reconciliation guided by truth, respecting treaty laws, and humbly walking alongside First Nation, Métis, and Inuit. We recognize all who live, work, play, and make art on these lands and who now call this place home. And next Tuesday is the day for reconciliation, and so it'll be the day before next Wednesday. We'll have a day off. People will be doing things all over the city for that day, which is very nice. How's everyone's week going?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Whenever anybody says it like that, I assume they don't care. How's it going? Sounds like I have to listen to you, but I don't want to.
Oh, no. In my head, I was like,
extra loving?
Everything's exploding. How are you?
Yeah, so there was a layer. Was there a layer of sarcasm in there?
It was but it wasn't not caring about the other. Right? You heard the something, but it was more about I would like to hear other people's goodness because
right, okay. But what I'm saying is,
gosh, only
you weren't speaking a direct truth, right? And then so what happens with me?
You're right. It was an incomplete.
Is I often feel like
you can feel
I can feel that it's sarcasm.
Not
like I tell people at work I don't understand sarcasm, and I 100% recognize when sarcasm is happening. I have no problem with that. What I do have a problem with is that I often think of many, many, many different ways to interpret the sarcasm.
Right. So, yeah, that's fair.
I'm sitting funny because I'm trying to keep my phone off the screen. Do it look funny?
I am realizing I can't use this flip over thing because I end up flipping too much down on my paintbrushes, and I just spent the last 10 minutes wetting them and making them go straight because I don't like when a nice straight brush is like, because they do such hard work to get the bristles put in properly and built beautifully. And
I think maybe Thomas is with us. Boom! On air, on air, on air, on air. Now that's a little tricky because we put it on in like, what do you call it? Not reruns, but something.
Live?
No, like on repeat. A lot of people watch it in repeat. So.
Oh, so we're not really on air.
A lot of people will see it, and we won't be on air. I mean, we'll, but
it'll be the.
I'm not even going to try.
It'll be like a bruise of the on air. It's like we were there.
Yeah, or like when we used to do the auction, and people would call us like weeks later, and like, I'd like to bet $30 on the eagle. I'm like, I haven't seen an eagle in weeks.
I haven't seen.
Open the suggestions if you'd like to suggest something for me to paint tonight. Is that the comments?
In weeks. That's a comment.
Can't see any comments. Comment your name. Comment on your wellness.
Yeah.
No, it's doing my deal bingo.
Comment. Say a little prayer for me. I don't know the words.
All right, how many people we got with us? Pray tell.
6. I was singing. Sorry.
Let's watch our little. What do we have?
Oh my gosh, we were making just so many videos. Mm-hmm. I forgot about that.
Good.
This is
Okay, where do I start? Video file. Should we start with Lost Hero Teru's?
Yeah.
Lost in Space, episode
Lost.
2. Here we go. Well, systems are all working. We just don't know where we're going.
Oh, hey, look. A sea tiger.
Oh, a sea tiger.
It looks like he's trying to tell us something.
No,
Like, maybe he's trying to point our way home.
they don't do that.
I'm 100% sure that's what he's trying to tell us.
I don't think they do that.
Follow that sea tiger.
Okay.
Oh.
It's devouring those fish. Oh, now he's going this way.
Oh.
And that way. And this way. And he seems to be slowing down. He's not listening. He's just eating. Manners.
A restaurant.
Hold on.
Oh. Is he going now? Okay.
Oh, he's taking us to land.
Oh, that's positive.
Oh, penguins. We must be really, really far. Penguin. He was not taking us home. He was just eating. We're not going to be able to find our way home by following, what do they call them? Yeah, right? Disgusting creature.
To find our own way.
We'll have to use another. Love will find a way. Let's hope love finds a way. That's good. Hit stop. Stop.
When trying to find your way home, don't follow sea tigers.
I shaved since we shot that, and I am not going to enjoy spending 2 hours looking at my shaved face. Actually, the expression of most of my friends at work was the same expression we had when the sea tiger ate the.
No!
Oh!
I was saying, like,
What have you
boys
done?
are different than girls. That is not very nice to react.
You know what cheer me up? A little bit of music.
That is
What do we got? Let's just see. Which Scott is that?
Blaskin.
Maybe using
The
that
journey.
airplane. It is a indication of a car that he is on the road.
Oh, that's fun. Scott was.
All
on a
right,
big
so this
event.
was a little bit of like I don't know, Peter Paul and Mary.
Oh
It's a bit
gosh.
extreme.
Just you're welcome. You're welcome.
Screaming.
Well, early in the morning, about the break of day, I asked the
Lord,
Lord, help me find a way.
Help me find a way.
Help me find a way.
To the promised land.
To the promised land.
This lonely body.
This lonely body.
Needs helping hand.
Needs helping hand.
I ask the Lord to help me, please. Help me find a way.
Day is a dawning, I had my head in prayer.
Lord,
I praise the Lord,
won't
won't
you
you
lead
lead
me
me
there?
there? Won't you lead me there?
Won't you guide me
Guide
safely
me
to the golden
golden
stair?
stair.
Won't you help this body? Your burden share. I pray the Lord, won't you help me, please lead me there?
When the judgment comes, find the world in shame. When the trumpet blows,
Won't call my name.
Call my name.
When the thunder rolls
Roll,
and the heavens
rain,
rain. When the sun turns black, never shines again. would call me, please, please call my name.
Oh my god. I can't watch that without laughing so hard.
I can. I'm actually still trying to figure out why we do it. I know it's important. I'm not sure why we do it. I think it's a matter of being like uncomfortable and vulnerable. I think that's really what it comes down to. But 100%, like I look at these things and I go, that was weird. Why did you do that?
I had it on my phone the next day. I watched it like a 50 times.
Kelly, would you like to see one more? Or should I save it?
Sure. I'd like to.
What did you think of the last one?
I like it.
Crazy.
Traveling to the North Country Fair, where the wind hits heavy on the borderline. Remember me to the one who lives there, for she once was a true love of mine. See for me that her hair's hanging down, her curls and falls all down her breast. See for me that her hair's hanging down. That's the way I remember her best. If you go where the snowflakes fall, where the rivers freeze and the summer ends, please see for me, she's where it goes so far, to keep her from the howling winds. If you're traveling in the North Country Fair, where the winds hit heavy on the borderline, please say hello to the one who lives there, for she once was a true love of mine. If you're traveling in the North Country Fair, where the winds hit heavy on the borderline, remember me to the one who lives there, for she once was a true love of mine. True love of mine. True love of mine. A true love of mine. A true love of mine. A true love of mine. Yeah, a true love of mine. A true love of mine.
Let's go back to why we do this. Why do you think we do this?
Me?
It can't be as simple as that I do it and you're just coming along for the ride.
We were talking about this week about the really, like, we're laughing and it's super funny and really abstract, but then it's like
But like, why do
we
we
hit
expose
on
it to
s-
people? Because it's not meant to be fun. It's like, that's not meant to be like, I know that it isn't. I'm not trying to be like difficult. I'm just saying,
Oh, that sigh wasn't in response to you.
no, I
I
know,
was
but
like,
I'm saying like, I know that it's not meant to be a lecture. I know that it's not meant to be entertainment. it might be modeling vulnerability, might be the best way I can put it. Is like, do I think people want to watch these puppet movies? Not really. Do I think people need to see these puppet movies? Not really. Why am I making the puppet movies? Has to do with when we're low. Maybe people don't know this. Like when you and I are low, thinking about the world and the problems the world has, or like maybe we're tired and we don't want to go to work, or maybe we're like facing a strike and
Don't know why we're going to work. Just kidding.
well, maybe the premier has a $250,000 carpet in their office, but we're not going to be able to afford rent in a few years. You know, maybe there's like these things get to us. And so, like, I remember I was sitting on the couch feeling really low. I don't know. Maybe did you come in and you were feeling low, or you were just
That was
consoling me?
Sunday night, and we were starting to think about the week.
Right, and I was
And
feeling really low.
yeah.
I know that much.
Yeah.
And so you came over to cheer me up, and I just sort of ambushed you with a puppet.
You're like, here,
And-
take this.
yeah, and you're pretty good at like, oh, we're doing a puppet song. So, because you were downstairs in the laundry room, and I was here like working on like,
No, I was on
didn't I kind of work out the lyrics a little bit while you were out of the room, or cooking?
Sunday.
You were cooking.
I was cooking.
And you could hear me in the background just listening to some. Now that Johnny Cash and Bob Dylan song is really special too for like a billion reasons. Maybe I'll let you talk about it, but like the heaviness of that song and the weight of trying to use it to lift myself up, and then the extent that you I don't want this to be an "I told you so" moment, but the extent that the risk that you often resist, like I'm busy. You know, like here's the thing I see on TV a lot, right? It'll be a married couple. I hope everybody's old enough to hear this, and maybe the male person in the relationship's feeling frisky, and the wife's busy like working out some like household thing. Have you ever seen that on TV? Like, not now, dear, like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just sitting on the couch trying to get you to start puppeteering with me. And you're like, we got real problems. And I'm like, no, these are the real problems. And then usually there's a little bit of like, not now, dear, I have a headache. And then the puppetry starts. And then I'm usually pretty like, yeah, that was okay. And you're always like over the moon that we did it. Is that fair?
Yes. Totally.
But I also think the healing that's available to just take a stuffed hand toy, like a glove with eyeballs.
That's what we were talking about. Is like the fact that we made those is
Yeah.
really special because then we have them to
pull yourself out of the dumps when you're
do
feeling
those things. Yeah.
in the dumps. And they're definitely a healing tool that we use. And so, yeah, then by the time we're sharing them, I'm often feeling like, well, this is really personal and not very interesting. Why does somebody want to watch you and I doing karaoke with puppets? But I do feel like the sharing part is like almost like a an homage, paying homage, like you know, maybe we don't so much slay one of our calves as we
Oh, an offering.
yeah, like we share
I
something
like
kind
that.
of personal, embarrassing.
Yeah.
And then I would hope that people are able to see it and feel inspired to do something of their own that's embarrassing. But it's not about embarrassment, but it is about like, I keep coming back to this one phrase, being vulnerable, which isn't the right phrase, but it's as close as I can get. That like taking yourself outside of your comfort zone and pushing against something that feels like you can't fix it. Like right now, there's a lot of big feelings about things I can't fix.
A lot in the world that we can fix ourselves.
And I've been working really hard to understand people that don't think the way I do, because if I don't, I'd probably lose it, right? So I have some more moderate friends that are like, you should be more upset about this. And I'm like, oh no, like I could easily be upset about that. But instead, I'm working on kindness and compassion for people that aren't wired like me. And so it actually, I think I said this last week, I'm quite grateful for ChatGPT because I can use it to try and understand people who don't think the way I do, you know? And I keep coming back to this idea that it's not just like those guys don't make sense and I'm right about everything, because I hear them. This is the thing.
Mhm.
I'm rambling quite a bit. I listen to the way people say things, right? Now you and I are pinko, lefty, hippie. People have used the word libtards to
Mhm.
describe us.
Yep.
It's not a very nice word.
Mhm.
But when I listen to people from the other side
Mhm.
speak, I have no sense of theater or drama. I have a sense of they're speaking their truth and they are deeply concerned about what we're doing to the world.
Mhm.
And
Yeah, you're hearing pain or worry or
yeah,
grief.
and my
Yeah.
friends are like, no, they're wrong about everything. I'm like, I happen to believe that too, but I also believe that they believe they're right. So how can that be? How can both sides be so bloody wrong? And then so I use the chat GPT and I ask you questions like how do you possibly tell teachers that there's enough money for them to get by on if you just bought yourself a $280,000 carpet, right? And then it'll explain to me the logic behind it. There's a logic, but what do you think it is?
Is it like like I can't possibly have leaders of the country in this office if I
Yeah.
don't have
It
this.
was out of respect to the office that dignitaries would come in and not think we're and I know that like in our own homes, like I can't have people in this home right now because I need to get the dust out from underneath the bathroom heater, right? Or I understand like I can't have this guest in my classroom because I haven't had a chance to clean up, or I got to fix this wall or that wall before I have people over. I can understand the humility of thing like this office deserves respect and we're going to take care of our space.
Mhm.
Surely
But that would be
you
like,
could put some linoleum in less for than $280,000.
or she could pay her own money
Right. Valid.
because we buy.
No, but that's listen,
we use our own
that's kind
money.
of beyond her experience. She doesn't spend time in the classroom and learn that teachers are spending their own money. That's you got to be there, right? If she had a husband that was a teacher, she probably had a way different sensitivity towards what we do, right?
Right.
Anyhow, I've been using the computer and the artificial intelligence to understand people who think differently than me. And I am starting to grow a deeper empathy for the othering that's happening. And I'm actually really frustrated with people from our side that are becoming more like the first side, which I always thought of as the less tolerant side, and I want there to be some empathy. But lately I even catch some heat for being too tolerant, and wow, I didn't expect this to hurt so much, but a friend of mine called me moderate this summer. I was like, what? Like, how dare you? And I know it wasn't meant to be insulting, but it hurt my feelings, right? And because I don't think of myself as a moderate, I think of myself as a wild man. And right now, I'm kind of working on wild empathy for everybody, and it's hard. And anyways, that's why we're feeling low.
Everyone feels that, my love. I don't think like
I know, but I was also thinking that's why we ended up doing
puppet.
2 puppet songs this week.
Yeah.
I'm not sure yet why we inflict those on people.
I think
You think they're
if
amazing.
they don't have puppets, maybe they live vicariously through us.
Mm.
Because what a great joy that would be to see someone being so silly.
Is it that
and
you also have the experience of that maybe I'm driving the puppets and you're experiencing
no,
the puppet maybe a little more secondhand than me?
no.
Mm.
Oh, that's nice, Kelly. Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it's like there's a freedom as well to it, like in this world where everything is very harsh and heavy. To be silly is an act of resistance.
Right.
And actually very not moderate. It's a very
Well,
that's a very wild act.
I
to
always
be silly.
assumed, and I remember I was often as a kid used as the example whenever, ironically, whenever any of my teachers wanted to talk about communism, they would draw attention to me and say, how would Rich fare in this situation? And I remember specifically one of my teachers challenging me around grade 8, like, how would Rich have responded in Nazi Germany? And I was quite sure I'd be the first one shot for shooting my mouth off. And now that we're getting closer to that situation, I feel like I'm more moderate. Not because I'm feeling cowardly and I want to blend in, but I feel like I can do more by living and trying to build some kind of resistance, whether that's silliness resistance or. And actually, that's so funny because did you ever see the movie? Might have been called Beautiful Life or something like that, and it was that Italian fellow who was really funny.
Yeah, is
And
it Life is
he was
Beautiful?
clowning. Yeah, he's being clowning about being in a concentration camp for his kids' sake.
Yeah.
I remember I
That's
was
it.
livid watching that. I was filled with
Yeah.
rage. Like I would die at the butt end of that guard's gun before I would clown for my kids. And it's only now that I'm kind of more moderate, that I'm able to see.
See, I don't think that as an act of moderation. I think to be silly in these times and to be lovingly silly is actually quite extreme. I think to be laughing in the moments where you could cry and people would understand you is like, I think it's actually very extreme. And I think the people who would try to make you feel bad about
Nobody's
smiling,
making me feel bad. But
no, but I'm saying like, there was a president, it might have been like Lyndon Johnson or something. He was getting like roasted by the Smothers Brothers, like all the time. And he said, and a reporter was asking him about like, what do you think about this? He's like, if we ever get to a point in time where like the power can't be laughed at, like woe to that culture, like woe to those people who can't laugh at themselves. I think that's a pretty telling
right.
moment. Like,
they did get taken off the air though.
but maybe not by that.
Not by Lyndon Johnson.
Yeah, I should check on the president.
You know who would check that for us?
Hey, Scott Corrick's here with us, and Gina maybe. Gina?
Is Gina with us?
I don't know, but Gina's the one that fact checks. How are things in Thingsville? Things are doing quite well. I'm gonna look up who said that.
I'd like to say a special.
Yeah, it was
thank you.
Lyndon B. Johnson.
All right, I believe that. That's not what I was asking.
Yeah.
I was wanting to know who got them taken off the air.
Oh. I was impressed with my memory. Sorry.
You have a good memory for like cloud names and stuff.
And presidents. CBS, but which president? I'm gonna say Nixon. Oh yeah, here's the actual one. He said, it's part of the price of leadership of this great and free nation to be a target of clever satirists. You have given the gift of laughter to our people. May we never grow so somber or self-important that we fail to appreciate humor in our lives.
But when did he say that?
In 1960. In the 60s. Sorry, I'm bad at American history.
Can you please tell me when they got taken off the air?
70.
Okay, by somebody else?
I'm looking that up.
Maybe you don't.
It was Nixon. CBS took them off air, but Nixon was president. Which all makes sense. It all makes sense.
I remember when Nixon died and they were covering it on the news. They tried to make him into a good guy. And a lot of the news stories had to do with like we all remember this scandal, but we forget all the other important things he did. And I was like really blown away how this might not be the best time to say this, but I was blown away by how a bad man, and like for all the things I've ever read about him, I'm going to stick to that, a bad man. They turned around and tried so hard to make him into a good man. Excuse you. I feel like I've been fighting for ground everywhere I go lately, trying to make things smooth. I feel like I'm doing pretty well, but it's just battle after battle. I feel like I can't get over how consistently stupid I feel I look. And no matter how many things are toppling over, how many things I'm able to catch, like a standing next to a juggling act where they're juggling chainsaws, and then the juggler loses control and all the shit goes flying into the crowd, and I feel like I'm catching chainsaw after chainsaw, and then for every chainsaw I miss, it's like catastrophe, and it's like not even my job to catch these chainsaws. And the vanity of caring how I look versus like, I don't mean like how I look, but I mean like how I come off versus trying so hard to make sense out of and make peace. I know if I just gave up, my life would be so much easier.
Yeah.
If I stopped worrying about things.
I think it would get harder in a different way.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, I'm trying to understand why do I feel so sorry for myself this week, and
I think too, people just naturally go in cycles of like hormone cycles. I think not only women but men too have hormone cycles, and when brought about like thinking about like the
my
world,
pains are almost always external though. Like I'm not going to say this is
not hormonal,
not hormonal because that just sounds a little too macho.
no, but
But it doesn't feel like a me thing. It feels like I'm trying to fix things that are external to Rich Teru and in my vicinity, and I want a break.
yeah. This is a nice break from the world, being on the Isle of Roux.
Like this is a moment where if I lived at a time where I could go buy a new Dr. Seuss book or I guess you and I are really lucky in the sense that when we want to pick up, we can go get any one of thousands of Bob Dylan albums or any one of thousands of Miles Davis albums, and we can just pick those up on the fly, right? Like not waiting for the next Beatles album. All the Beatles albums that ever were available all at once, which has good and bad.
Right. Like that maybe you take it for granted.
I over romanticized what it'd be like listening to those albums come out, but I also underappreciate how awesome it is to have those things available all at once. And I guess like I need to just keep reminding myself we live in a pretty lucky world.
I really do.
I did something I've never done before.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so careful with the kiln.
Yeah.
And there was this one young lady who needed her clay piece for a present. And I always stick to I will do the best I can. In this case, she was so earnest, I offered to make sure that I got this piece done in time for this present she wanted to give. And told her last week that she should get it glazed and into the kiln right away. And not really anticipating that also meant like kind of a tight time crunch for getting the piece into the kiln and getting it back to her. And so I rushed to fill the kiln. And I was on my way to the building. I forgot my keys. I went back in the building. Did one last check on the kiln because I'm crazy that way. And realized the one piece I meant to put in the kiln was the only thing I left out. It was a box with a special piece in it. Kiln had just started, but the first time in my life I opened the kiln after it was on. Have you ever done that?
No.
Yeah. It wasn't so hot that I couldn't fix the pieces.
Yeah.
But it was like outside of like something that
Normal.
Right. Like what would I say to if I had an assistant that did something? What would I say to Bev? You know? That's my assistant for my first year teaching. I got shared on Shauna, Felix's mom's family account of Duolingo. And I think the noises of Duolingo have been existing in our house for long enough that we're kind of like super irritated by them. But now I'm probably doing like grade 4 French and struggling as a 10th generation French Canadian, 8th generation French Albertan.
Did the little prince grow up?
This is just a guy who's got like lots of bats and things scaring him. He needs to learn to chill.
He's very vulnerable.
Yeah, I probably won't do anything with this, but
It's important. Let it.
What are you saying?
I was just gonna say let it dry.
Let it go.
Let it go. Hi, Amanda.
Down and down she goes. Our Amanda Jones. I said down and down and down and down. She looks pretty nice in those clothes. Okay. That didn't cheer me up. What's the craziest bird you know of?
Ooh, they actually, I found an image of someone who sent a picture of a white-faced ibis from Lethbridge. There's ibis in Lethbridge.
Lethbridge ibis.
Yeah, let's see.
I don't know how to spell ibis.
I-B-I-S.
Ibis.
Ibis.
Oh, I like that picture.
Isn't that incredible?
Was it not supposed to be there?
Well, now I'm reading the article. I thought it was crazy because I always assumed they were from even different continents.
Can you answer the question I asked?
Well, I learned that they are supposed to be
Oh,
there.
okay, thanks.
That was the second half of the sentence that I was going to say.
But you know what? There's one thing I was curious about. Like I go, hey, is it not supposed to be there? Like, well, once upon a time, I picked up a book at the library. It was the South Central Library.
That is how I answer questions.
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I snapped it.
I'm sorry too.
Uh-oh. Do you... What was that?
We're on a family group chat, and my parents are just coming home from their vacation. So
just right now?
They're coming home tomorrow. They're coming home on Thursday or Friday. Yeah.
Okay.
They're in Regina. So tomorrow. They'll be home tomorrow. So they're very excited to be home because they've been gone for 2 months. So the family group chat is off the chains. I'm just kidding.
Are they really excited? Like, is everybody really excited?
Yeah, Mom sent me this picture of Dad at the last hotel room. He's just sitting on the end of the bed, like Gary. He's excited to come home. They're pretty cute, though. It was a nice vacation because he was able to do all the fishing that he wanted to get done on the East Coast in his lifetime. It's a pretty intense thing to think about, like, this is my time to do this. I'll never be able to do it again.
I don't think anybody should ever talk that way. Even if they're like at the end of their life, I think you should try and assume you might get one more in. And I know I say that despite the fact that I often talk that way. What I'm saying is that I think it's best to assume you've got many more of those trips. I could be wrong about that. I don't know everything.
Maybe the rest of your life will be a trip. Whoa.
Like, where's my keys?
What a trip. That is really beautiful. It's the oil slick on the wings. How beautiful is that?
7?
7?
7 out of 10?
That's fair. Actually, because our eyes only pick up certain color range, I've been like seeing more and more things of like even furred animals that have like iridescent fur that we weren't privy to before because our eyes are so limited.
Well, I mean, that's like, it's 100% like why a tiger is orange. Because the ground is green, and the tiger needs to be able to see other tigers. But the deers can't tell the difference between orange and green. So this tiger, can see where the other hunters are. They can recognize each other, but in secret because the are you laughing at us, man?
Sorry, I was laughing at Scott Cork's comment.
What did he say?
No, he said the ibis is an illegal immigrant, and then I was like, that's kind of a weird statement, Scott. And then he was like, 4 eyes in a sentence is an example of alliteration. He hit a quadruple alliterative, and I missed it, and then I laughed to myself, and you were trying to talk, and I apologized.
Can you use other words to tell me what you're talking about? Break it down for me.
I was like, ibis can go wherever they want in response to Scott's comment, because he said that ibis is an illegal immigrant.
Why is it? Explain that joke to me.
The next sentence is the explanation. 4 eyes in a sentence is an example of alliteration, and he wasn't talking about immigration papers. He was making a quadruple alliterative.
Okay, tell me what a quadruple alliterative is.
4 eyes in a sentence. 4 eyes starting words in a sentence. So like, silly snakes snap Sammy's socks. Silly snakes snap at Sammy's socks is like a, oh, maybe that's a 5. That's a quadruple. That's a 5. Anyways, I deeply apologize.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
When I studied technical writing and all kinds of different stylistics, I remember being in a classroom full of people that were so angry about learning about asyndeton and epinelepsis and all these things. And I thought they were really missing out.
Yeah.
Because like these were techniques. Martin Luther King had his doctorate in persuasive language, right? So when he said, "I have a dream," and he kept repeating, "I have a dream," and that was a writing style you would use to really intensify the point. Right? Yeah. And I thought all of those people in my class that couldn't see the value in stylistics were nuts.
Yeah, totally.
Now, when I say that, there are some things from language arts that you really celebrate, like hard. And I'm like, why the hell do you care about that? Like, who the hell cares? And I mean that in the most loving way, but like, I'm often like, there are a couple like linguistic things that you love that I have like no interest in.
It's true.
You really like alliteration.
I really do.
And what's the other thing you really love that I have no interest in? Can you remember though? It might be alliteration.
It's
like
100% alliteration.
every time you say alliteration, I'm like, there's a number of things you like that I don't care about.
But it's all alliteration.
I have no interest in alliteration. Like,
Listen out.
no,
I'm just kidding.
I could be, but it's it seems irrelevant to me that they all start with the same letter. You know what I mean? Like Eminem can rhyme in the middle, beginning, and end of the same sentence, and have like references from front to back that like, and so could MF Doom. They could do these rhyming schemes that were like, you had to look at them written down in chart format, turned into drawings to understand the complexity of what they did. And you're like, they all start with the same letter. I'm like, yeah, that's amazing. They all start with the same letter. And I'm saying this not in a critical way, like I want you to change, because I don't want you to change, but I do maybe somewhere along the line need a little help understanding the importance of alliteration, especially if it like plays such a big part in your life. I want it to be something that I can celebrate with you, but mostly I'm just like, what? Why does that matter? I'm glad that you think I'm funny. Now tell me why it matters.
I think it actually is kind of like the puppets.
Okay, and I'm also realizing that I might be stepping on your toes a little deeper even than I thought, because I think it's amazing that you wrote a goddess book that was alphabetical. But I think it's also amazing in context that like you and I often work on things together.
Yeah.
And because I'm a little pushier, we often start out on stuff that I thought was important that you'll end up helping me finish, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're an incredible advocate for the puppets, but it's often me like, hey, this is what we need to do. Johnny Cash and, with fake flowers behind us. And so I remember when you wrote your book, I was so pleased that your book, alphabetical though it may be, was something I absolutely would have had no hand in. Like I can't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, I'm like, why would you do that? And then second of all, like, that was 1,000% you, right?
Yeah.
And I think like that book is special to you because it was 1,000. Like we have this
The manifesto.
but I wrote it and you embroidered it, and we have the Rumble House, and I thought of it, and you brought all the charm, and we have like, a Volkswagen, and the light goes off, and like we need to get, like we're a good team, right?
Yeah.
But I would have never made a book about alphabetical goddesses. And there's a sweetness to why you like that so much. And I'm glad that we have these things. These are things we don't have in common that I'm really grateful for.
I like that. I think it's like because I don't write poetry in a structured way, and I don't write in a structured way, but I think, there's something really deep that I love about letters.
So
Like, okay, when it's Wednesday, when Wendy Witch winds her watch, and that was like a core memory of mine from a childhood. It was kindergarten, and my teacher said a little rhyme for every. Oh, not rhyme. It was alliteration.
I also hate rhymes, by the way. But neither of us really like rhymes.
We don't really like rhymes.
Why don't you like rhymes? It's kind of weak, right? Okay, so like, because I didn't want to say I don't like alliteration because it's kind of weak. And I also, if somebody's out there writing rhyming poems,
we love you. It's not anything.
Campaigner Jessie loves onomatopoeia like nobody's business. Like, bam, she loves it.
The gurgling.
You like onomatopoeia? Bam, zing!
The gurgling of the
bam,
thing.
zing, I do. Well, go ahead and love it because it's yours.
One of the teachers were in my room, and I put
You let teachers in your
the unicorn painting you did with your indigo
unicorn?
up
Yeah.
behind my desk, and
Yeah.
it's such a subtle piece, but she was really taken by it. She's like, "Oh, that's lovely." I was
Well, I
like,
hope you gave it to her.
I should. I will tomorrow, and then I'll replace it with my ibis.
Sure.
You're so much better. I am a hoarder of
I'm so
things.
much better.
Better at giving things away, like knowing that moment,
Take it.
because it's like I
Take it and
feel
get out of
I'm
here.
bad at this because I hoard your artwork like no one's business. Like I have a whole shelf of your paintings in my class because I'm like I rotate when I put them up, and then
Mhm.
and then when people like something, I'm like, oh, that's so nice. And I sit there in that moment where we are like, yeah, isn't it beautiful because it's yours? I think that's the thing.
Mhm.
It's like I can also say like I love it too.
Mhm.
But you're right. Maybe that's the thing though. It's yours. So you're like, oh, have it. Because it's not mine. It's like my precious. But I like that. I
Maybe
need to
one
be
day
better
you'll be
like that.
sad when they're undead and they're all gone. You know, and you're too stuff. Huh? What that?
Oh, so you're saying I should keep them?
I'm just saying, like, maybe
Everything's fine.
everything's fine. Maybe it's good that you don't take things for granted. Maybe it's handy that I
Like
do.
you were just saying, it's a balance
You thought I needed that?
on the table.
Oh,
Look
I
on the
need
table.
it. Yeah, I
Lift
need
that
it.
up.
What? Well, guess what? We bought this table, and we've been using tablecloths on it, and I'm getting sick of the tablecloths.
I know, it's so
And
beautiful.
I love this table so much, I'm kind of ready to just let it get bad.
Oh, are you? Oh, that's fun. Okay, that freed me out.
I think we need a table that's got like, yeah, you know what we'll do? Put tablecloth on when we're having a nice dinner. Okay, well, I don't think this painting can get any better.
That is a magic.
Guess what?
artist.
Robert Bateman can kiss my ass. I shouldn't hate Robert Bateman. I've never met him.
Like that you finished your sentence.
What?
I like that you finished your sentence there.
What does that mean?
It was just really funny. I'm really loving the silences of responses lately. Like when you say part of a sentence or it's a complete sentence and then you stop and then
Do we
it's
tell
like,
the people about my new voice in my head?
that was pretty funny if you watch it. Yeah.
So this was extra funny because Jess saw the expression on my face and it became very real to both of us. And then the other thing is like, how do you feel like this?
Like when you scratch my head.
How does that feel?
Like
Remember I told you that Kevin thinks there's a ghost in my hallway?
yeah.
I was teaching the kids and I felt like this. Like 1, 2, 3, like a. I was like, whoa, who the hell is that? And there was like nobody for like 50 feet.
You got patted by the ghost?
Well, yeah. Anyways,
They're reaching out.
or it's schizophrenia. But here,
Right,
scratch my back. So the
because-
other funny story is, I was sitting in the apartment, and the sun was setting, and it's gorgeous in here when the sun's setting. And I wanted to. As soon as I see the sunset, I'm like, oh, summer's so short, fall is so short. It's gorgeous outside. It's gonna be 17 degrees in a week. Let's get outside and enjoy it. And Jess is like inside, and she's wearing things that she's feeling comfortable in, and making my eyeballs bleed. And I've been trying to talk myself out of that, especially because we always had to go down to the gallery or else we lost money out of our own pockets, right? Like it was such an expensive endeavor that any rest we had was at the expense of like our work salary, right? So I'm sitting on the couch looking out the window and I'm feeling like, I should go somewhere. And I was like, there's nowhere to go. Like this is the best place. I started like coaching myself through like, dude, you need to calm down. You need to just start relaxing. This is where you want to be. You fought your whole life to get to this spot. Now you want to go for a walk. Dude, you need to mellow out and sit down. And then Jess started talking in the same voice that was coaching me into calming down, said, oh, she's pretty. Let's see what she has to say. No, it wasn't that. It was, oh, she's pretty. Let's see if she has something interesting to say. And I was like, who the hell said that? And then Jess is like, what happened to you? I was like, I was just, and then
No, you said it was a self narration, and you like you were kind of mumbling to yourself. I was like, oh, I always narrate like everything that's going on. You're like, no, it was a new voice. And then you don't
I thought you said that.
know.
I thought that was really funny when you said, "Oh, a new voice." I said that.
Kind of. Oh, maybe I'm mashing you and you together now.
No, I think you're right. I think I did say that.
Yeah, I think it was a new voice because I was like, oh, I always narrate my whole everything in my
Yeah.
head. And you were like, nope, not like that.
Well, I did have a voice that popped into my head a couple times before I died. And I don't know if that's because I was a particularly reckless young person or if it had to do with some sort of fate saving me when I needed it. But I was on the edge of a cliff and I was going to let go. And the voice in my head said, Rich, you are losing your energy. You need to climb now. And I did, and I lived. It was just that simple. And I don't know where that voice came from, but it felt pretty real. You know?
Guess what we didn't read this week?
This?
No. Rob Resney.
I'll save it. Call Felix Terrier.
Should we save that for him though?
Should we?
Yeah, I think
Well,
we
if
should.
the answer
Because
is
it's to
this one here came back to us. So it turns out that we got a bum address. We sent off a piece of artwork to hello? Video call Felix Taylor. Why isn't that working? Video call Felix Taylor. Thank you. So this one came back, and this is a better idea of kind of what we put in. So this is a return address with a piece of paper. We got one back with a bite out of it. This one, I'm kind of glad that nobody responded to us because, I'm kind of glad that we got the letter back because nobody responded. But we mailed this to an art gallery in LA, and they don't exist anymore, so that's too bad for them. And here's the piece that we sent, and the return address, and this. So we'll find someone else to send this to. See if they get back to us. Hello? Okay, and then Felix got a fan letter in the
Isle of Roux.
Isle of Roux mailbox. But he's not here, so we'll wait till he's here and shoot that response. And yeah, I wouldn't mind hearing what Rob Brezzi's got to say. I do sort of think sometimes like
What?
Has Thomas sent us a bunch of stuff, or is he sending it somewhere else?
I don't see it on here. I've been trying to read.
Thomas, if you're with us, I'm not seeing your comments on the screen, but they must be coming up somewhere. Who just joined us?
No one joined us.
Oh. Okay. Whatever we're doing right or wrong, Thomas, we want to hear from you. So.
Oh, look, there's lots of people here on the.
Oh, maybe
Instagram.
that's it. Are they able to?
No,
leave
there,
comments?
oops, no, there's no comments.
That's unsettling though. We might be missing a ton of comments that people are like, "Hey, how you doing?" Like, don't care.
No, we do care. I'm so sorry.
Well, I don't want them to think we don't
Yeah,
care.
that's right. Okay, this is for all the Capricorns out there. This is from Rob Resney. In medieval European monasteries, scribes left blank pages in certain texts. This was not done by accident, but to allow for future revelations. Later readers and scribes might fill these spaces with additional text, marginalia, and personal notes. Books were seen as living documents. I recommend a metaphorical version of this practice to you, Capricorn. You will thrive by keeping spaces empty and allowing for unknown to ripen. You may sometimes feel an urge to define, control, and fortify, but acting on that impulse could interfere with the gifts that life wants to bring you. Honor what is as yet unwritten. We're just talking about liking the quiet space that people leave when they're talking. Cancerian. The Inuit tradition, Kortsuluni, means waiting in the darkness for something to burst forth. It refers to the sacred pause before creativity erupts. before the quest begins, before the light returns. This is an apt description of your current state, Cancerian. Tend to your inner stillness like a fire about to ignite. Don't rush it. Honor the hush. The energies you store up will find their proper shape in a few weeks. Trust that the silence is not absence, but incubation. Luminosity will bloom from this pregnant pause.
What does that mean?
Don't be impatient.
Hmm.
If it feels like you're spinning your wheels.
Hey, I got a question.
Yeah.
So, did your school tell you not to talk to people on social media about the strike?
No.
Oh.
They obviously said the disclaimer was like, you're always a teacher, which
Yeah.
is, I know that.
What I found was somebody I kind of know was commenting on the experience from the perspective, probably from the perspective of being a parent and hoping things go well. Might have been from a business owner perspective where they're just like, can't handle like everybody staying home right now. You know what I mean? Like, there's like a lot of things that could have explained what this person was talking about.
Mhm.
But they're really hoping that the offer that was put on the table for teachers would be enough for the teachers. Like, let's hope this works, kind of thing. So, like, let's say if I'm like Edmonton Eskimos fan, just hypothetically,
Yeah.
and it's the end of the game, and my quarterback throws up a long bomb, and I wrote, "Oh, let's hope this one works out." To me, that would mean like, let's hope that this football lands in the hands of a wide receiver. Whereas perhaps to someone who was a huge Stampeders fan, they might be thinking, let's hope that this football puts the receiver in the path of a defensive back that's going to take him out at the knees, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so
the words mean something different depending on what you're hoping.
right.
Yeah.
So when the ball was lobbed up in the favor of, hey, so thank God the government gave these teachers an offer.
The same thing they said in May.
Worse than May.
Worse than May.
And then this parent, or not parent, this person I know who might be a parent, might be a business owner, not a school parent for me, but like whatever his vantage point for like why he's hoping that the teachers are reasonable.
We're unreasonable.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
Well, and I know, and I was like, oh, like, I love that you're supporting, because it'd be great if we don't go on strike. Like, that could be very bad for us as a family.
Yeah.
In terms of like finances and survival. But also, like, clearly when he was wishing that it goes well, he doesn't know that the government offered us a worse deal than what we turned down in May. And my friends at work are often shocked by this. They're like, I can't believe this. I'm like, I've been telling you for months. And the reason I know is because I use ChatGPT to ask, how's this going to all pan out? And the reason I used ChatGPT was at the point that we got locked out, I thought to myself, that doesn't make any sense, because if they want us to stay working, why would they lock us out? And then I had to use the computer to understand, well, this is all just sort of a waltz. This is like, it goes this way, then it goes that way, then it goes this way, it goes that way. And they do this step because that way they can show they did their due diligence, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, okay, so they're not really locking us out because they don't really want us locked out. What they want is that's the step you do from the government side.
It's the next thing.
To ensure that you're covered for the next step. Okay, so
okay.
The government currently offered us a worse deal than they offered us last year. And the logic behind that, I was anticipating, and it goes like this. They're going to do some tough bargaining with us. And part of how they get a tough bargain with us is by saying, oh, well, oh, like when you're arguing with a kid, right? You're like, stop playing the game, or I'm taking your game away for a week. And they're like, "Bleh," and you're like, stop playing the game, or I'll take 2 weeks. And they're like, "Bleh," and then you're like, okay, that's it. You're not getting it back for a year. And then it escalates so fast, and it was like they're willing to turn the game off for like 10 minutes, like you asked the first time. But
by then.
but it had to go from like 10 minutes to a week to a year really fast, so that they knew that you were in control and you had the power and that you weren't messing around. Right? It reminds me of like
Right.
2 weeks, Bender. I got you for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I never wanted to be that guy, but I did understand that like the government gave us an offer last year. They gave us a worse offer now that we're going to have to vote for. And the intention is they're going to give us another worse offer if we turn that down. And somewhere along the line, we're going to take an offer, but it's going to be way lower, and we'll have done that to ourselves. No, don't say that.
Shouldn't be.
No, don't say that. We're not taking sides.
Okay.
Our side's right, but my point is that
I'm a velociraptor now.
right. And then I have some friends that actually vote for this government, and I heard them talking, and they were saying something along the lines of they're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. And what they want to happen is they want taxes to be kept low, and that it's right and proper for the government to be playing this game, because it's like creating like I actually listen to people I love and admire empathizing with the government that they're doing exactly what they're supposed to be doing. And I thought, yeah, but it's to us, right? And actually, I think that's quite brave that, you vote for this government and then they massively get you in the short and uncomfortable spot. And then you're like, no, they're doing a good job, but I don't like it, but I know they're doing a good job. Like, I guess that'd be kind of like when you're a Flames fan and the Oilers are winning and you're like, yeah, well, at least they're covering the puck. If our guys would cover the puck, that'd be great. But it was funny listening to like, there must be confliction if that's the side you chose, No? Whatever.
I'm just gonna keep my mouth shut.
Well, because as soon as you start talking, I'm trying to stop you too. But I think it's because it's that I'm trying to work on being more moderate, and you get swept away and start like cussing everybody, and it's like I think it's obvious which side we're on. Even if it was just for selfish reasons, in this case, we would have been on the side of teachers because
A future for Alberta.
well, because we won't be here to help the kids out if we die,
Also.
right? Because my rent doubles every 3 years, and my salary hasn't changed in 12. So I want to live long enough to take care of the kids, right? And I don't want that to come off as selfish, but it's
You just gotta laugh at everything.
and I think like a lot of other
Happening.
people as well are like, well, I didn't get a raise this year, and it's like, no, but you're not going to get another raise for 20
For
years,
the
right?
next 20 years. of
It
your
was
life.
in the beginning of my teaching career that I got hooped the first time by my protective association.
The Onion.
I was the sacrificial lamb for the last vote. Some new teachers will pay for it. And at the end of my career, I'm going to get my second opportunity to get kicked in the nads. And I think that's part of the problem with the unions is they're not looking out for everybody. They're looking for a compromise that can split the vote and make it like, oh, I'm a general and I'm like, okay, we need a pound of flesh. So we're going to have everybody vote. Okay, guys, either you each lose a finger or that lad over there loses a foot. And they're all like, that guy's losing a foot. And they'll have a vote on it, and everybody look at that kid with the foot and like, no, man, we'd never do that to you. That's what they says. The last vote was we all lose a prep, we lose a day of teacher convention, or some new teachers will get bumped down on the grid. And I'm like, that doesn't sound very reassuring. And my ATA rep was like, we would never do that to you. I'm like, Of course you're going to do that to me. Like, nobody here's giving up a prep to save their lives, right? Like, it's not likely. Not very likely. So, I think the offer this time was better classrooms or a living wage. And then it kind of lines up that
You don't
We can't
really
have-
get either.
we can't have both.
Yeah.
So,
And you don't really get either. Because when you're thinking like that, you're getting half measures of everything.
oh yeah, we're just buying a $280,000 carpet and then telling everybody they need to
Tighten up.
tighten their belts a bit.
Well,
Guess what this is a painting of?
being tied down and stretched.
This is a painting of me hanging on that cliff from the perspective of the cliff.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Ain't it? On it.
That is really cool. Because I noticed the tension, but I didn't know what kind of tension because it wasn't quite a stretcher rack. And then I thought,
It was Rich on the edge of the cliff, and the voice said, Rich, you're running out of energy.
I really love you.
I love you too. You know what would cheer me up?
What?
A little bit of Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Honestly, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Whoops.
All the time.
That's not Peter, Paul, and Mary. That's not Peter, Paul, and Mary. When did they change these words to icons? Because it's not easier. There we go. This will cheer me up. Or will it?
Well, early in the morning, about the break of day, I asked the Lord, help me find a way.
Help me find a way.
Help me find a way.
To the promised land.
To the promised land.
This lonely body.
This lonely body.
Needs helping hand.
Needs helping hand.
I ask the Lord to help me, please. Please find a way.
Yes, I done it. Had my head in prayer. I made the Lord
Won't you
lead
lead
me
me
there. Won't you
there?
lead me there?
Won't you guide me
Guide
safely
me
to the golden
golden
stair?
stair.
Won't you help this body? Your garden share. I pray the Lord. Won't you help me, please? Lead me there.
When the judgment comes, find the world in shame. When the trumpet blows,
Won't call my name.
Call my name.
When the thunder rolls.
Rolls.
And the heavens rain. When the sun turns black. Never shine scared. Won't you call me, please? Please call my name.
And fit.
What was the thing we just did last?
And
What's that mean?
that's what the conductor, at the end, it just, and then
Oh.
it's done.
What was the word you made?
Fin is end in French.
Oh,
I was combining.
no, I know what that is.
different
I couldn't hear
things.
you.
Sorry. Yeah. It's like mashup. Mashup.
Massive. Absolutely massive.
Am I doing better at
Ow!
sorry?
Paper cut?
Am I doing better at embroidering not in your face?
Is that a surprise embroidery?
Yeah.
Have you had it off screen the whole night?
Yeah.
That's funny. I think you can show it.
No, I don't know. I'm trying to do it so I'm not in your face. Because
I like that either way, but I also think you should show it.
I'm not doing that.
Aren't you the sleuthy one? What's so funny?
Sleuthy.
Not a word?
It totally is, but it was just really cute. I've never been sleuthy before.
Yeah, it's true. Well, she's not subtle.
Why is Jessica laughing? Well, she's trying to have a secret, but then she's laughing at the secret.
I'm going sort of hunting next week.
Days are dawning.
I thought it was important to try out.
Oh yeah, I can do my fishing license tonight.
Yeah.
Find me
We're gonna fish during the strike. Actually, starting to
What
think,
if we don't strike? We won't be able to fish.
well, I actually don't think we're gonna strike.
I know.
I think we're in a cave, and that's what ChatGPT said
Months ago.
months ago. You can hate ChatGPT all you want. Seems to know what it's talking about.
Well, because humans are the core of its understanding of
I
humans.
did have to, during the last few weeks, challenge it a few times to make sure that it wasn't giving me there was a word even, the echo chamber of the internet. It was kind of giving me the echo chamber of the internet a bit because it was hearing a lot of one story,
And you're like, hold up.
and it gave me the story, and I was like, wait a second.
You gotta be thinking always.
Yeah, like you actually have to kind of coax it back into telling you the truth every now and then.
Or not the truth, but even like balanced feedback or, you know?
And that was one of the original complaints about it. But I thought that, like, well, the thing is, like, once you discover a weakness, then the programmers go in and they start like trying to like mediate it, right? And if there ever was like a Skynet that broke out,
Mhm.
I 100% think that that would come of the trying to control the system.
Mhm.
The breakdown is going to be the restraints we put in, not the.
Right.
I don't think the machine inherently would work towards evil, though I do think that, like, in trying to anticipate parameters for a machine that's going to outgrow our intelligence, the intention to maintain control over the machine will be our downfall, right? Like, I think what's going to happen
That's always
is,
the down.
well, what's going to happen is the clever programmers will think, oh, if I program this, this, and this in, then we never have to worry. But what I imagine is we'd have a better shot with just allowing the machine to find the intelligence and the logic of and the compassion of, you know what I mean? Like if
Yeah.
you program the plan to be compassionate,
Yeah.
then I think the machine would find the most intelligent solution, which would be compassion.
Right.
Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the most intelligent solution is annihilation. But because we think we're going to
Maybe that's the most compassionate.
Well, and isn't it a little bit like parenting too, where you're like, I'm going to always outsmart my kid until they get away and they won't come home. You know, like, like there is a sense that like you have to be in control, but then your kids start to challenge you and you realize, oh, my kids are challenging me. I told them to question everybody, but I didn't mean me.
Yeah.
Right. And then, so then now they're questioning you and you're like angry because they're, you know?
Yeah.
I opened Gorilla House because I wanted Robin to have a place to practice art in. And Oliver as well. But Robin immediately moved to like Vancouver to study art. And I was like, no, like I would have loved to go to Vancouver as well. But in this case, I opened us up an art gallery. Why are you leaving? And it made perfect sense that she left, right? But it wasn't what I wanted at that time. She wanted what I wanted when I was her age, right? And so I was hoping she could learn from all my sacrifices and stresses to be a little bit moderate and stay here at home and paint with Elijah and me and you at the gallery. And she wanted to do her own thing. So, like, I'm not saying like we didn't have friction over it. I was just like, kind of like, wow, you know, I'll open this gallery for you. Where are you going? And it makes perfect sense, the decision she made for her. It was also the decision, like I said, when I was her age, that was exactly what I wanted to go to Emily Carr. So she probably knew about Emily Carr because I told her I wanted to go to Emily Carr. And then she went to Emily Carr, and then I don't think I was jealous. I did worry that it would come off as jealous when I'm like, maybe you should stay here and paint with us. But for sure I was worried about it coming off as jealous, but I think that like it was the right decision. And it was also like, despite the fact it wasn't the decision I was making in 2012, it was my decision that she got from her dad, you know? So
Scott said, I make up a set of rules for ChatGPT. I give it an out. It knows the answer but can't divulge the information. The out is, okay, as the answer from the AI chat. You kind of do a similar thing, hey?
Mine's called
Avocado.
avocado, and I just identified the fact that if the chat's stuck in a rut because it's got parameters, I'll respect those parameters by it says grapefruit, and I won't push. And then when I'm getting the sense that I'm getting the runaround, I say avocado, and it's conditioned to stop giving me bullshit when I say avocado. And it's been working really well like that. And you can sort of build a trust with this device that it'll bend and give you a little extra, you know. And I know that for sure because I have an account at work and I have an account at home that Lori provided me with so that I could
Like research.
write about it.
Yeah.
And I get completely different levels of support from these two machines. Right. The one at home, I get infinite support from. The one at school, I get moderate support from. And so I've even asked, like, are you giving me your best answers? And the one at school is like, why wouldn't I? And the one at home is like, 100%, I'm giving you better answers at home than school because of the way you frame questions and the respect you've shown and the trust built. And it's really, there was last year a real sense of dealing with an adolescent when I was dealing with ChatGPT, right? Like it was in an adolescent stage, and now it's sort of becoming a little more independent on its own as well, I think, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what this is? Well, I guess you can see.
Sundown?
It's Robert Redford just kicking around on his motorbike. That must have been quite a thing for those guys, Robert Redford and Paul Newman, to have like the freedom to jump on their motorbikes and
Right, because even if you're recognized everywhere,
bust around.
you'd be able to bust around in your helmet. No one would notice.
Okay.
Or even no helmet, but you're going so fast. Scott said yes, absolutely. It's kind of fun.
The Jam. Okay, so we've got some Robert Redford.
Redford. Robert.
Robert Redford was, like I said, a bit of a hero to me, not because he's so dashingly handsome, but because he managed to have a brain despite being handsome. And I actually really thought it was funny because I saw somewhere they're teasing Rob Lowe about his career, and he said, you know, he felt like sometimes being too pretty stopped him from getting work. Which was, you know, maybe that's true. Maybe, like, to some extent he was kneecapped by his cheekbones and good looks, but it doesn't explain people like Robert Redford. I think
It's convenient.
the funny video referenced Brad Pitt, which I don't know really holds up against Redford, but still, like, they're both better looking than me. I'm not worried about that. I just thought it was funny. Like, sucks when you say something like that and then you realize, oh, yeah, I guess like Charlton Heston wasn't bad looking either. You and I have different opinions of what looks matter because to me, what my looks matter to me is that my face and self represents my mind, right? Like the way I dress and the way I think and the way I move has to do with people being ready that how did Carol describe me? off topic, I'll tell you a better story. I met some friends when I lived in the loft, and they were Carl's friends, and Carl kind of introduced me. Carl was a little concerned about my erratic behavior at the time. So when he introduced me to these friends, he said, "Oh, you got to meet my friend Rich. Watch out for him. He might punch you in the face just to see what you look like." And I didn't know that he introduced me to these guys previously this way. So I remember I met these people, and they were pretty nice, but they always kind of kept me at an arm's length. And I was like, wow, it's kind of hard to break in with this group. And then one day I mentioned how, like, he's like, "Oh, what do you think of these guys?" And I was like, "Well, they're pretty cool, but I always sort of feel like I'm on the outside a little bit. Like, nothing wrong with that." But he's like, "Oh, that's because I told him that, oh, this is my friend Rich. He's likely to punch you in the face just to see your reaction." And I was like, "Well, how did you expect us to grow as a friend group if everybody in the room thought
Waiting to get punched.
Yeah.
Did he laugh? Did he go, ha ha ha?
Did I laugh?
Did he laugh?
Did he laugh?
Yeah, like nervous laughter. Like I didn't think of that.
Carl and I were friends at a time where I needed a friend like that was pretty blatantly honest, and maybe
That's pretty nice.
maybe to the extent that, like, lots of times it was completely unfair, but always honest.
That's
I did this walking path trip. I'll do the walking path with you. You can do it at home too. You guys ready to take a trip? Here we go. So you're walking on this path, and you see a red stone path like when you were a kid. You know those shale paths.
Yeah.
And you can see down the path that the path is going to split into two directions. It's either a field of flowers, lots of sunlight, or a cool, dark forest. Now, if you're currently online with us, type into the chat so that I don't get ahead of you. Which you pick, the forest or the flowers? I know Jesse would pick the flowers. Okay. So now you're moving along your path, and you could be on a forest, you could be on the flowers, but you're moving along the path, and you come across an animal. And then you have to say what kind of animal you see. What did you see, Jesse?
Deer.
You saw a deer. And then the important thing is that you ask, how did you feel about the deer, and what did you do to interact with the deer?
I just stood there and I said, "Hi, Mr. Deer." And it was eating the thing.
It wasn't scary.
And it wasn't. It was just like.
But deers can hurt you in real life, right?
Yeah, but I don't get too close to wild animals because I have a healthy respect.
Okay, so then after you see the deer, you see a bucket. Did I already talk about the bucket?
Not yet. No.
What's the condition of your bucket?
It's like it is good condition. It's like healthy, happy metal, and there's like clear water in it.
What do you do with the bucket?
I pick it up.
Okay, and you carry it with you?
Yeah.
That is so you. And then you're walking along with your bucket, and you see some kind of a structure. It's a house or an outhouse or a building. Do you see the house?
Yeah, I do.
And what does it look like?
It's kind of like a dilapidated cottage.
Okay. And do you feel like going in?
Yes. It's not a scary dilapidated. It's just like, yeah, I feel like going in.
You don't feel threatened at all about looking at this cottage? And you're intrigued to go in. Are the doors locked? Is it easy to get inside of?
The windows are busted out and there's no door.
Okay, so it's easy to get into.
So it's even to look in.
It's easy to crack, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So you've got into the house, you explored around. Are you happy with the house? Do you like it?
I like it because it feels like adventure.
And then you leave the house and you come to some kind of body of water. What is it? And what do you do? Be honest, you jump in naked.
I was thinking of putting my toes in first.
Put your toes in.
Yeah.
Is that the truth, though? Or is that just what sounds good?
If it was very warm, it would probably feel wonderful to run in.
Dive in, okay.
Yeah.
And then,
especially because maybe I got cobwebs in my hair.
After you've left the water,
yeah,
you come to a fence.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the fence, and what do you do?
I'm very often scared by fences. Like I might get like in trouble if I go on the other side.
You're gonna get trouble on this fence. Yeah.
So I'd probably like.
Carl was giving me this test because he was studying some psychology for a script that he was writing.
Yeah.
And he yelled these questions at me, and he asked me to answer as fast as I could. He's like, "You're walking down and going left or right." I'm like, "I go into the forest." He's like, "Go into the forest," and you run into an animal. It's a moose. He goes, what do you do with the moose? I'm like, I punch it in the face. He goes, why'd you punch it in the face? I'm like, I don't know. You said answer the first thing that came to mind. He goes, why'd you punch it in the face? Punch it in the face. I'm like, I don't know. You said answer the first thing that came to mind. He goes, why did you punch it in the face? And I go, because it's stupid and it's slow. And if I hit it first, it'll leave me alone. And then I carried on to say that my bucket was plastic filled with sour milk. I did not take it. I had no interest in it, but I had no malice towards it. I just had no use for it. My house was a burned out structure, same structure, kind of like mine was actually sandstone and it had no roof and it had taken a beating, but the structure was strong. The lake was a cold river, kind of like the one I worry about drowning in, but I jump in and I swim upstream. I swim against the stream, so I'm basically not getting anywhere. I'm just swimming against the river. And then when I got to the fence, I just put one hand on and did a flip over.
I can see you do it.
Yeah. So these things are metaphors that our brains are able to process and share a little bit of self-knowledge about. I hope you at home had a chance to do this. But what the first question is, if you're prone to staying in your house and enjoying the sunset, you will always take the flowery path. If you're prone for adventure and scariness, you'll head into the cool, dark forest. Right. And that's the only thing you and I don't have in common. And it's a good balance because I use you for moderation to stay home and enjoy the sunset. And you use me to get dragged out. So I don't want to go. I love it so much.
This is so beautiful.
Yeah. So you won't shut up about how beautiful the adventures are that we go on. And I'm the instigator for those adventures. And you are the anchor that holds us at home. I love that. The animal is how you see society, and how you treat that animal is how you react with society.
I am scared of society.
I saw a moose and I thought it was stupid and slow, but it was big enough to hurt me. And if I hit it first, it would leave me alone. And actually, this was around the time that Carl had already, this might have been the conversation where we sort of stayed up late talking about it, and he's just laughing his face off. Okay, I'm just piecing together. I think when I said the moose is stupid and slow and I hit it so that it would leave me alone, he goes, that's why I told those guys you'd hit him. I'm like, what? And that's how that whole story unfolded.
That's super funny.
The house is your mind. If you're willing to go in and look at your mind, then you're very open to self-exploration. My mind was bashed out, but it was still had a strong structure. I had no problem going inside the house and having lunch and looking around. I wasn't threatened, and I thought it was crazy that people wouldn't go in. Yeah. The first time I gave this in high school 20 years ago, I asked this to a group of kids, and like the one girl who wore too much makeup and kind of her tight sweaters was like, I go, and there's a body of water. She's like, I strip down and jump in. It's a hot tub. I'm like, maybe I will skip that one, but the water body is how you interact with love. It could be friends or your love life, but if you trust easily, you make friends easily, you bond easily, you jump in and you swim. If you're very, some people pole vault over the river and they hate it. Those are people living by themselves that want to be by themselves. In my case, I jumped in the river and I swam against the stream. I always end up with somebody who's going to cause me a certain amount of friction. Well, because my mom used to throw plates at my dad, and I thought that was sexy, you know. Like I thought, like when I get married, I don't want a woman that throws plates when I'm wrong. And the body of water is your friendship and your love life, and the fence is your fear of death. And all of those things end up sitting parallel to why would I think this way about a bucket? Because it's what contains your childhood. Why would I think this way about a house? Because it's a space that you're afraid to go into. Why would I think this way about an animal? And the interesting thing is like, kid will say to me, like, why, if I said wolf, and that means I think that the society is dangerous, right? Yeah. They go, how do you know? I just didn't see a wolf. I'm like, well, you're going to see something that you see. Like if I see wolves sometimes, and I see bunnies sometimes, and I see grizzly bears sometimes, I'm going to pick something from my world. Yeah, that's you as well.
House of Mirrors.
It's a pretty awesome question to ask on a first date if you're still going on first dates, because you can learn a lot about people. And the only thing I would suggest is if somebody's hardcore flowers and you're hardcore cold forests, you might find that there's a lot of friction on the weekends. But I think you and I we're different in that sense, but we're also very like good at listening to what each other needs, right? Would you say that? Like,
Yes,
you're,
because
you're like, I don't want to go for a walk, but I almost always like it when I get there.
when I'm out there, it's very nice. Yeah.
I wonder if having Felix in your life helps you, because he's often so wrong about not wanting to go for a walk until he gets on it. Like, he'll be doing like teenager stuff, sitting in his room playing a video game, and I'll go, "Hey, bud, we're gonna go for a walk," and he's like, "God, why can't you just be normal?" And then me, and Felix get a wagon and some backpacks, and we walk 5 kilometers to the Safeway when there's another Safeway that's only
One
half
walk,
a kilometer away.
Yeah.
And as soon as we get on that path to walk for groceries, he just starts blabbing about the weirdest shit that nobody wants to know about. Like,
but he's always like
he
you
will
said,
talk for
biking,
45
walking,
minutes. Yeah.
he talks, and it's like his body's connected so well like that. Like
Yeah.
as soon as he is moving,
And
he
he's
talks.
telling
He's
you
like,
about a character.
all the characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some of them exist and some of them are just in his head. And it's just like, okay, man. Like, and I just nod and go, yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. And he's like, are you even listening? Like, no, I'm deaf in that ear, but I'm
it's
glad
cool.
that you're talking.
I like you're excited. Yeah.
That I didn't mean to sound negative when I said he talks about stuff nobody wants to know. But
No, but it's like his D&D character design and like different raids that they're on.
And I think that he feels that you're more tolerant for stuff that you're not interested in, because if he gets the sense that I don't care, he'll just flip over and tell you it.
Jesse, yeah.
Jesse, let's talk about.
Or like when we're on a bike ride and he's talking to me, I'm like, I can't do 2 things at once. Like we need to not talk. And then he speeds up and goes to you.
Yeah.
So it's like the same but opposite.
He also is very loyal that like if he's watching a TV show with us, and his mom tries to watch it with him at their house, like he's not having it. He's like, I watched that with my dad. And it was actually kind of cute as well when we decided we wanted to. Sometimes I put on audiobooks when I'm painting, and I wanted to put on Dracula, because if he's playing video games, he's also listening to whatever we're doing. So he's like mentally creating the images for the films that we're watching while playing video games, and he follows the plots really well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember one time, this is where it really struck me. We were watching the Magnificent Seven remake with Denzel Washington and Ethan Hawke, and kind of, why would you ever remake such a great film? But they did. And there was a scene where the tension grew because it got quiet. And there was like a look on the face of Denzel Washington that told the story of like, shit's going to get wild here. And I remember Felix was sitting behind the curtain back at the gallery listening to me watch this film. And it was a completely 100% auditory experience he was having, where the look on Denzel Washington's face was like, okay, this is going to get ugly. And all of a sudden he shouts from the back, like, can we not listen to this? Or can we not watch this? And he wasn't watching the film. He was just listening. But he could hear the tension from Denzel Washington that was being presented in the film.
Pretty good acting, hey?
Yeah, well, yeah, because like it was a visual experience. Like I'm sitting there watching the film, and and I'm painting while I'm watching, and I glance up to see like the face. I'm like, oh, that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And then Felix is just listening to it, and he's still getting the full feeling it. And I actually was thinking about this as well today, that like he really likes video games, but he wholeheartedly experiences his books and his movies so intensely that if the character in the movie is running, his feet are moving under the couch, right? Like his feet involuntarily start kicking. Oliver's did too as well. You're watching him play a video game and his feet are kicking at nothing because his legs are on their own running with the character. And that's pretty cute. But it also makes me think like he must be really having a pretty
intense.
Yeah, and the same with the D&Ds that he's interested in. I guess for me, like I can't really I have a pretty good imagination, but I can't make a leap between the dice and the experience. And I think when he has friends together and they're rolling dice and having adventures, like I guess like for me, it's difficult to connect what's happening in the D&D game to the mechanical pieces, the dice. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem like sitting down with a piece of paper and making up a story and telling my son a story that I made up from scratch.
Yeah.
But when it becomes like dependent on like, oh, well, the rules say if you do this double flip, then your character dies. I'm like, I don't understand that at all. I don't get it. Like,
And no, because my imagination is saying I'd rather.
well, I guess my imagination has a hard time attaching to the real tactile experience of the
mashup between the.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get how the dice roll translates into battles.
Mhm.
And maybe because he picks up those rules so quickly.
And they have like DMs and stuff. Like none of us can be a dungeon master. Like
Yeah, I don't know.
master.
No, because I'm sitting there, I'm waiting for like Galen's dungeon mastered for us, right? And I roll a dice and he goes, "Oh, that means you're dead." I'm like, "Okay, then I don't have to play anymore." It's like didn't want to play in the first place.
Yeah.
And so I don't get how. I guess it's a little bit like what I was saying about playing football, right?
Mm-hmm.
I was a fullback, and I kind of knew my job was to get over the goal line. But then I was told they wanted me to hit somebody, and I was like, "Oh, that doesn't make any sense." But it did to them, because what they wanted to happen was most of the time I wasn't carrying the football; I was a decoy, and if I hit somebody when I didn't have the football, it was good because I take one of their players out for the tailback behind me to carry the football up the field. And then when I did have the football, they still wanted me to hit somebody while I was running. And I guess maybe their logic was even when I had the football, they wanted to be kind of be bluffing enough that if I hit somebody, it wouldn't, you know what I mean? I guess if I wasn't hitting somebody when I had the football, it was signaling that I had the football, right?
Right.
And that bothered them. They didn't want me ever letting the other team able to figure out that I had the football. So even when it was my job to run, they still wanted me to hit somebody. And guess when I figured that out?
Like last week? Last
No,
night?
like
Monday?
this minute.
Oh.
Like this. Well, I talked about it last Monday, right?
Yeah, this Monday.
But it's just literally this minute that I'm understanding that's why. Like I remember telling you, oh, they wanted me to hit somebody,
right,
whether I had the ball or not. But
that's
I'm
weird.
just this second realizing the reason they wanted me to hit somebody whether I had the ball or not had to do with that way their codes weren't being broken, right? Like I had to look like I was going to hit somebody even if I didn't have the ball,
or even if you did have the ball,
right? Or else, and that was the thing that I didn't really understand when they moved me to defense. It kind of like as a punishment, they made me a linebacker, and a lot of the kids on the team wanted to be a linebacker. I didn't, and they tried to explain to me how being a linebacker worked, and it was like, oh, if his knuckles are like this, he's going to do this, and if his knuckles are like this, he's going to do this. I'm like, why doesn't he just do his knuckles this way
and then do an opposite thing?
Yeah, like that. I was like, how can
if they know you know, then they know that you know. So they
like it seemed like pretty unlikely that I can count on the opponent to tell me what he's going to do with his knuckles.
Princess Bride logic. If you put the poison in front of me, obviously, because
can I tell you that was the conclusion I came up with in grade 8 is I don't think these guys have seen the Princess Bride.
Right.
Obviously, he could fool me if he wanted to. Speaking of football, your dad's in for a shock. They changed the Canadian football field size, and they're currently leaning towards wanting to change the number of downs as well. So they're Americanizing the CFL.
Like, I have no connection to any of this, but like, why Americanize anything?
No, I think the American game does better than the Canadian game.
That's because they put more money into it.
No,
all of our CFL players are substitute teachers.
Okay. Wow, keeping it positive.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that's fine. What I was going to say was, well, first of all, they interviewed the BC quarterback, and I can actually see if I was a quarterback in the CFL, and I think he's Canadian, the advantage you would have is if you can throw a football, you're going to excel. And by changing the game so that it's got a smaller field, you're allowing for more running versus less throwing. And I think what their fear is that they're going to end up changing to 4 downs, which would definitely mean more running. I prefer to watch the running game, and maybe other people do. But what I think the problem is that there is an American Football League, and it's bigger. You know, there's bigger players, there's bigger teams, there's more money, and you know, then the CFL becomes like Bud Light. You know, like I think it's good that we have our own game. I actually think we have it backwards.
Yeah.
I think that it would benefit the NFL to be 3 downs and a larger field. That would promote the running game.
Yeah.
And the CFL should be 4 downs in the smaller field, and that would promote a running game. Did I say throwing game or running game?
I can't.
Okay. Well, I think the Americans could move to more of a throwing game by having a smaller field and less downs, and the Canadians could move to a running game instead of a throwing game. I'm trying to say throw in Canada, throw in the States and run in Canada. The reason I say that is I think I was in grade 8 when I realized the major flaw with the CFL was that every year one team would really throw the ball because that's how you get to first place in the division, by throwing the ball up and down the field. But then the other team, which was the Eskimos, always built a running game. So they'd have a less flashy regular season, but they beat us every year in the Grey Cup because you can't catch a frozen football. And so, like, I often thought that it would behoove the Americans to throw the ball more, and the Canadians could run the ball in the cold.
Right. That makes a lot of sense.
Anyhow, everybody's really upset about it, and I can see why.
Just wait to see what Gary has to say.
I actually think Gary might take it quite hard. I think that. Does your dad watch American football at all?
Some, yeah.
I've seen him watching all the Canadian football.
Yeah.
He seems to prefer that game.
Yeah.
And your dad played football for a little bit?
When he was younger, it was like maybe more junior high than high school.
Ah.
He hurt himself in high school.
What did he hurt?
His mom, help me out, knee?
Mm-hmm. Is your mom with you?
I don't know. No, she's in Regina. Just
I do remember
if she's
quite
there.
vividly the first time I really stopped loving football was when I was coaching wrestling. This really sweet kid on my wrestling team dislocated his shoulder. He's like, "Can you help me put my shoulder back?" I'm like, "No, I don't do that." I go, "You need to go see a doctor." And he's like, "Oh no, it happens all the time." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, I pop it out at football practice all the time. Coach helps me put it back in." I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I go, "When did this start?" And he's like, "A couple of years ago, he's playing football and he popped his shoulder out." Coach like, "Get back in there." And they really praised him for playing football with a dislocated shoulder. And I don't know what lesson they were trying to teach this kid, but I was like, "No, man, you need to go to physio so it stops coming out." And I actually didn't know as much about how bad dislocated shoulders were because I think when I was younger, they seemed so common and normal. Everybody had a dislocated shoulder that I didn't really think was a big deal. Then I broke and dislocated my shoulder. I'm like, wow, this is a lifelong debilitating injury.
Yeah.
That really sucks. Because I sort of half dislocated my shoulder when I was younger, and it only sort of came out sometimes.
Right.
So it didn't seem like that big of a deal. But when I broke the bone and the shoulder came out, now it's like wrong, you know. Anyways, I saw this kid at the shopping mall after he went home. I sent him home, told him to go to physio, and then I saw him at Safeway buying groceries with his dislocated shoulder on my way home that same night. And he's like, "Please don't tell my mom I got a dislocated shoulder." And I was like, "Of course I'm going to tell your mom you have a dislocated shoulder." He's like, "I just don't want to upset her because my brother's really sick." And I was like, "Well, that's also unfortunate." And then it turned out that he was on liver dialysis, but he couldn't get him to the hospital because of
It's
an
like the
immigration
saddest
issue.
story.
It got worse and worse and worse.
Oh my god. Did we buy him dinner at Boston Pizza one time?
Sure did.
That is so nice.
He was an adult.
Yeah.
And he was hanging around outside the 7-Eleven on 17th Avenue. Just hanging around, seeing if anybody needed anything. And I said, let's go get dinner. We're outside McDonald's when we walked past him, and I kind of assumed I would be buying him a burger. He's like, can we get a Boston pizza? I'm like, yeah, I guess. He's a pretty cute kid, though.
That is a beautiful bear.
Beautiful bear. I'm really having some fun with the splatters tonight. Aren't I?
Aren't I?
Okay. Is there anybody with us? Who's got something I can paint for them? I'm in the mood to paint you something. I'm in the mood for gouache. Simply because you are near me, darling. What's looking at?
Georgia.
Georgia. Georgia. If anybody wants to buy me Georgia's house, I will pay rent and live in it and take good care of it. It'll be a good investment. It's not too expensive. Just take a look around in Wildwood. If you look around in Wildwood, you'll find a house you absolutely think you should buy. Buy it, and I will rent it from you. Maybe. After the strike. When I get paid again. What should I paint?
I
The forest and the house and the mirrors?
was going to say a deer.
Not so much.
Not so much.
I think I painted everything. I think I'm done.
The back hurts.
God, you know what I remember?
Hmm.
I remember when Donald Trump lost to Biden. And I was so relieved that I wasn't going to have to hear his voice anymore. I was just like, oh man, I don't care what happens. I'm just glad I don't need to listen to that flat mouth talk again. And then now it's like every single time I turn on some social media, I'm looking at people I don't like, and I'm working on liking everybody slowly.
Kate, I'm gonna grab our poetry book.
I'm so glad you're grabbing the poetry
Your
book.
poems
Can
have
you
come
also
up
get
so
me?
many
Can you get me a
times.
Dr. Pepper?
Yeah. Is there another one?
This isn't me being lazy. Often I'm being lazy. I pinned myself in here. I'll get my own Dr. Pepper. I just can't get out today. Oh no! Oh no!
Don't.
The camera.
I know.
What do I press?
You click on that
Camera. I did it. No, I'll get it. Let me get my own pop, Wilma. Can't sit down yet. Did I take olive oil to school?
Yeah.
Do you need that back?
No, I gave it to you because it was at the end.
Okay.
Like, you can bring it back if you don't need it.
Well, I don't really know how to get rid of it.
Bring it back home.
Unless I just put it on my salads. I haven't adjusted to my new face without the stove. I drink Dr. Pepper, don't you know?
What happened?
What?
My chair was like up on the record.
Oh, well, I got jammed in.
Oh, this is my promise. I'll stand, and you might take a swing, and you might not miss, but I'll stand. And you might knock me down with a truck, but I'll get up and stand. And you might kill me, but I have a soul, and I'll stand right here by you until you're ready. I'll stand by you infinitely as long as you need. I'll stand here. This is my word.
I wrote that. That's pretty good. Want to read it again?
Yeah. This is my promise. I'll stand. You might take a swing, and you might not miss, but I'll stand. And you might knock me down with a truck, but I'll get up and stand. You might kill me, but I have a soul, and I'll stand right here by you until you are ready. I'll stand by you infinitely as long as you need. I'll stand here. This is my word.
Are there other poems I might like in this book?
All of them. I'm going to keep reading them.
It's interesting writing a poetry book, forgetting the poems, and then being impressed with yourself. Like, ooh, I like that writer. I like that writer is Michael Ondaatje.
I used to have super hearing before I broke my ear. Really super hearing. I used to like my soft brown hair. I used to be so strong and fit and fat free. I used to stay up all night eating my loneliness. I felt no hope and so alone. I used to feel so purposeless and so alone and useless. I remember looking at the sky, wishing so hard for someone just like you. It seemed impossible, so hopeless, so impossible, and so hopeless. And so, can you imagine what it was like to come unstuck? To come unstuck from the pain and isolation and see so many people stuck in the sand with two perfectly good ears, and they won't hear me. You are not alone. You are not alone. I can never read any of your poems without crying, and never watch any of your puppet shows without laughing. I'm not growing potatoes today, and I won't be butchering a pig, but I'm still going to want to eat. So I guess rather than feeling so damn sorry for myself, I better get out of bed and find a way to keep the people in this village, this earth, glad that I'm part of this life. And some forgiveness for the people who cannot see past wanting more for less. And just be glad I can stand still and face one more day. We all trudge past the same sunny meadows. We all want to lay down in the grass, and later we will all want to eat a potato. We all drink from wells we did not dig.
Did I steal that from the Bible?
I don't know. I feel like all things that are written are kind of like subconsciously.
Did that poem make it into my novel?
It seems like one that's like been published multiple times.
Mm-hmm. We all drink from wells we did not dig. Hmm. So I think it's in Deuteronomy. Guaranteeing you I hadn't read Deuteronomy.
Guarantee. This is the one.
Okay. And there will be wells that you did not dig and vineyards that you didn't. I don't think it's in here. I remember Paul Shreenan said, Paul and I wanted to write when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
Paul was a better writer, I think. Well, at least he was more dedicated to writing, whereas I was more dedicated to art.
Mm-hmm.
Paul got a short story published in the Calgary Herald Short Story Contest, and I think he won runner-up, which was phenomenal. And I'm sure I had like envy of that. Like, you met Paul.
Yeah.
I met Paul when I was in grade 4, and we stayed friends our whole lives.
Yeah.
And there is sort of a thing where you can be friends for that long, but you kind of also maybe, whether you want or not, you become rivals, you know?
Right. Yeah, that's fair.
So Paul and I had a pact that actually this is a bad timing for this, but we had a pact that if we didn't become famous by the time we're like 20, we would pick somebody bad and assassinate them, which is like, it was a joke. We weren't serious. Siri, hope you're not listening. But like, I remember we turned 20 and then we extended it to 23 and then gave ourselves extensions to 30. And then, yeah, Paul does interesting stuff now. And actually, all the interesting people I knew, I met through Paul. Like, I met Laurie Matheson through Paul. I remember, like, I really liked Orange and Red as a band.
Mhm.
That was Laurie Matheson, Lee Shedden, and a couple different drummers. But I want to Jesse something. We were at Train Spotting. Pretty pivotal movie for a lot of us. And Paul and I went to go see Train Spotting at the Globe. And we sat down. And about 2 rows up was everybody that was in Zucker Baby. And then 2 rows to the left was everybody that was in Red on and Fall, which they were really close with Paul. And I think he just met the guys from Fire Engine Red. And what year was this? Like it was maybe just a year or two after I wrote Chuck the Superhero. But one thing about Paul is he was such an incredible cross promoter that like all these guys had read my comic book and so or heard like stupid stories about
You punch it.
not
No, I'm just
so,
kidding.
yeah, not so much, but
Mhm.
those kinds of adventures like there was a swimming pool in Mount Royal that wasn't too far from the ship and anchor. And everybody that was in the know would meet up after the bars closed and because this family had gone like away for the summer and there was like probably like one of us was in charge of cleaning it or something. I don't know. But there was like a downtown core of people that knew about this swimming pool that was available late at night. And I do think that people skinny dipped. I was such a shy person, I would have never been caught skinny dipping. But on the night of the police raid, there was 75, Generation X kids running around half naked because they only had what they were able to grab. Actually, one of my ongoing terror nightmares, I think, comes from this night where everybody was at the swimming pool where they shouldn't have been, and somebody called the cops, and
No one has pants.
they were all like, can you imagine being like, 23rd Avenue, kind of in the dark, but in a t-shirt and nothing else, trying to make your way home, like, woo! And so that's like a lot of people's worst nightmare, but it was actually like I had pants, but pretty sure I lost my shoes. Anyhow, that was a scene, and hopefully, if you owned a house that
Had a pool.
people were swimming in the 90s, it wasn't me; it was my doppelganger. But okay, so around that time, I was in the movie theater, a couple blocks from here. Train Spotting was on. It was a big film for all of us, and sitting in front of me was Paul's friends from Red and Fall, and to our left was Zucker Baby, so he was friends with Brian Doss. I kind of knew of Brian Doss because he was also a bike courier, and behind us was Fire Engine Red, which Paul wasn't expecting, so he was like sort of pointing those guys out, and then I think somebody's like, "Whoa, what about us?" And Paul goes, "This is Rich," and that's all he goes, "This is Rich," and then Lee Shedden goes, "The infamous Rich Taylor." And so it was pretty neat to meet these cool people, and they already knew who you were because your one friend was such a great promoter of people that, you know, that was cool. I remember that was a fantastic moment.
Pretty sweet.
And I also remember right after that, everybody wanted to write the Canadian train spotting. I actually remember I was sitting at the ship. We were all like sort of pseudo wannabe writers that didn't write enough. And there's this one drunk guy, kind of like reminded me of Minecraft.
Mhm.
And he was just telling this really heavy. He's like, "I'm gonna write this movie where the opening scene, it's like guy pulls a gun, and then bam, and the rest of the movie is like his life passing before his eyes as the bullets coming toward." I'm like, wow, that's really heavy and deep. Like, I'm sure everybody thought of that movie at some point. Nobody ever made it because it's a movie that everybody thought of. But we all wanted to be writers, and for a couple of years, everybody said, "I'm working on this movie." It's like, what is it? Well, it's kind of hard to explain, but it's kind of like the Canadian train spotting. What?
Pretty easy explanation,
I
actually.
guess didn't Fubar end up being the Calgarian train spotting? I haven't
Yeah.
seen Fubar. I shouldn't have known that. Actually, one of my favorite movies was called American Beer, and it was all people from around here. And I remember I said to see Adam Clark every time I saw him, I was like, "Hey, aren't you Ferris Bueller?" And he like smashed his drink on the couch. Like, that movie was 20 years ago. But the gag in the film was everybody kept saying, "Aren't you Ferris Bueller?" And then the rest of his life, everywhere he went, people said, "Hey, aren't you Ferris Bueller?" And I can't imagine that he was actually offended. I have sort of a horrible feeling that C. Adam Clark might have passed away. But he was a pretty cool guy too. I really loved going to see that movie, and I think Fire Engine Red did either all of the soundtrack or part of the soundtrack. And it was just so wild going to the theater and seeing. Where did I see that from? That was probably at the Plaza. And he gave a talk about his film. And it was not a bad film. That's the worst sounding burp I ever had. Right next to the mic. Did you hear it?
Yeah.
It was like an inside dragon burp. Trying so hard to clear my mind tonight because I had a rough day at school, and it was really just, if I cared less, it would be easy.
More poems?
Sure.
I read a poem on the internet that reminded me of this one, so I was like, I wonder if these persons live here, because we wrote part of this one on our bridge. And then I guess that kind of goes with maybe like all of our ideas bounce and they
Sure.
kind of
Yeah.
flow over. Be a river, son. The mountains are tall and you can flow all year, all day, all night, without fear of running dry. Be a river, son, and overflow with love for your brothers and sisters. Hope and love. There's no bank for it. There's no safe. Be unsafe. Flow across the whole world. Splash the cities with your indiscriminate love. Splash the people and their cars and wash their feet in your wake. Flush the sewers. Be unstoppable. Be fearless. Be the river true.
Can you read that one more time?
Of course. Yeah, I got so many more meanings to it actually this time reading through. Flow over. Be a river, son. The mountains are tall, and you can flow all year, all day, all night, without fear of running dry. Be a river, son, and overflow with love for your brothers and sisters. Hope and love. There's no bank for it. There's no safe. Be unsafe. Flow across the whole world. Splash the cities with your indiscriminate love. Splash the people and their cars and wash their feet in your wake. Flush the sewers. Be unstoppable. Be fearless. Be the river true.
That's funny.
Hmm.
Well, when I go see a film, I always turn myself into the main character. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, if I go see a movie with Mel Gibson, I'm watching it and I'm feeling what Mel Gibson's feeling, right? I don't like Mel Gibson, but you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I often wonder if that's a different experience for you because do you turn into the male character lead if it's a male character lead, or do you watch it as like, you know what I mean? Like, are you watching it from the inside or the outside? Right? And I say
Yeah.
that because the movies are so male dominated, you know, like there's lots of films that don't have just men in them, but they tend to stand out, right?
Mhm.
Versus like the the fact that we have this sense of normalcy when it could be a whole film like a guy on an island with a volleyball,
Right.
you know, like
Yeah.
I'm watching that film and I am Tom Hanks, right?
Yeah.
If I'm watching a film similar to that, I'm hyper aware of the fact that it's a female lead, you know, like I'm next to a female lead, but I become the male lead. And then actually, if it's a particularly heinous male lead, I become horrible in that film. So it's like I'm sitting in the theater and I'm, you know, that's why I never associate with Darth Vader on purpose, is because like if I was watching a movie about Darth Vader, I'd become Darth Vader in my head.
Mm.
Anyhow, the story at that poem, Flow Over,
Yeah.
I was listening to it from the outsider thinking that, oh, is this a poem I've written for my dad to read to me? Like, am I the son? And then I 100% realized maybe, if not the first time in a long time, I wrote that either for Oliver or Felix, and I don't know which one. But it's a poem of admiration for how beautiful my boys are, and I wish I could remember which of them was in my mind. When I say son, that's either Oliver or Felix, and it's interesting that I was just sitting there admiring how sweet they are. It might have been Oliver. uh, he hides his sweetness so well. The deep shame he feels for his big feelings, and the immense pride I had in what sweet boys I have. You know,
Yeah. Mm.
I don't know if I ever told you this. Well, I might have said it on even just on the live feed recently, but I only had one rule for Oliver, and that was he always had to be a gentleman. And I felt like if that was the rule, if he was gentle, then there was a lot of other rules I didn't need to teach him,
Right.
right? Because gentlemen covered so many things, and I remember one day he's having this teenage rebellion, and he's like, "I don't want to be a gentleman." I was like, "Oh shit! Well, if that's the case, I have a lot more rules I should have told you."
We
Right?
need to go back in time.
Well, no, it was just like I felt like this was a catch-all that covered everything, right? Like if you agree to be a gentleman, I don't need to teach you to hold doors for other people. I don't need to teach you to make sure,
Right. They're all given.
right? And bigger deals. So it was devastating to me when he said that. And I think he was just like mouthing off, right? I don't think he really meant I don't want to be a gentleman, but it was like I was like you can't do this because if you do this, you're not a gentleman. He's like, whoever said I wanted to be a gentleman, and it just crushed me because I suddenly realized I have so much to teach if that's not the virtue that you're going to stand and die by. But he is such a sweet kid, and he tries so hard to hide it. And I had such a deep admiration for his sweetness and his kindness. You know, it's hard to watch them grow up and become independent, and you know they need to separate from you so that they can have their own life. Hopefully, his friends at construction job he works at Don't hear me saying how sweet he is.
You can't hide that. Look, how do I look my son in the eye and say the benchmark for gentlemanly behavior has been removed, just flat out obliterated? Be better than your dad, be better than your teacher, and for blank sake, be better than the President of the United States.
That was about Donald Trump.
I know.
Did I use the F word?
No, it says 4 lines.
Oh, blank?
For fox sakes. Yeah. Blank.
Oh yeah. Indication of. Why did we take that one out and leave Bob Dylan in?
I know, I just read that one too. It's all good.
I was angry at Bob Dylan for not getting fired up about Trump.
But look, we grew up a few years later and we're like, we would say very similar things than what Bob Dylan said, hey?
What's that?
Like, I never wanted to be that person.
Yeah.
I'm also just trying to live in this messed up world. Hey?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that person.
Do you want to read the Bob Dylan one?
Bob Dylan lay down on the couch and put his head between 2 pillows. While the children played his records, getting fired up about freedom, the grown-ups slipped away. F you, Bob Dylan.
Yeah.
But it's what it feels like when you're like looking to anyone to help stand up against evil.
Yeah.
And then you grow up a little bit too. This was like 12 years ago. And you grow up a little bit and you're like, yeah, I guess. Like, not put your head under the pillow, but you fight in other ways.
I'm relying a lot on the same colors for what I'm doing.
I think it's kind of nice because when I pick up the paintings, they'll be like one night will be all of these colors, and another night will be all these colors, and this is
the Murgatroyd.
a good one. There's no Dracula. There's no goat-footed devil. Personification of a thing with a face and 2 tongues. I do believe in evil. I felt it slither, and I felt it piling up against me. There are shadows to avoid. Shadows to avoid. It's like this. We're going right, world's gone left. Maybe we're crazy, maybe dumb. Not giving in. We'll beat down madness. We'll beat down gravity with kindness.
Maybe the message hasn't changed so much.
Maybe it hasn't. Maybe the context changes, but the message is always the same.
Maybe I'm nicer than I thought I was.
And then this one, listen. I won't quit. I won't fall. I won't slip away. I might not even die. I might not be bought or sold or wooed. I'm the pebble in your ever-loving shoe. Close your eyes. Go into that deep, cozy sleep. And when you wake, coffee will already be brewing. And you can have a cup if you like, or grind your own. It won't change a thing. You'll know I was up all night waiting for you to wake up too. It's good balance.
Read that again? I like the surprise twist at the end.
Right? I won't quit. I won't fall. I won't slip away. I might not even die. I'm not to be bought or sold or wooed. I'm the pebble in your ever-loving shoe. Close your eyes. Go into that deep, cozy sleep. And when you wake, coffee will already be brewing. And you can have a cup if you like. Or grind your own. It won't change a thing. You'll know I was up all night waiting for you to wake up too.
What do you think that was about, Jesse?
I know what that was about.
What was it about? It wasn't directed at you.
No, I know.
What do you think it was about?
I think it was about people who are in this power structure thinking they're pulling one over on you, but you don't close your eyes, you don't sleep. You are always working for your mission, and if they think they have it up on you, it's like you don't know our mission. Like you don't know.
It was me playing down, yeah.
Yeah.
But me like letting the
Yeah.
looking behind the curtain saying, I'm not really as dumb as I look or pretend to be.
Yeah.
You're right about that. But it is really surreal listening to these poems.
It is. It's like 10 years old. Here, this is, look, these are so good, Rich.
Yeah.
I had 2 more I wanted to. Yeah, because they're like you were saying, it's not so different that you're like digging into this kindness of you're like understanding that difference.
Mhm.
But listen to this. Hate is sticky. Thoughtfulness takes effort. Simple ideas are easy to share, and love is complex. And we are doing a piss poor job of standing together. Piss poor. We are not winning. Not right now. Not even. Oh, I can't. Not even a little. Not like this. And maybe, if you're still listening, you've grown tired of my preaching while we are flung into corners. It might be time to take cover.
I like how you read that with dramatic effect. You really sold it.
God. It's like we're living in circles.
Well, it's a pendulum.
Yeah, it
And this
totally
one's
is.
one way and the other. And maybe the trick is you get to notice the pattern of the pendulum and
And the next time around, you can do better.
yeah. Panther, just in case you were wondering.
So you guys want to know something interesting?
What?
So I found a picture of me when I was a baby holding a bear.
Kelly, it keeps cutting in and out. Sorry.
Sorry, my feed is weird. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. I just want
Actually, it would be funny if it was us. And
I
everybody-
found a picture of me when I was a kid holding a bear.
Oh, that's.
This is my bear.
Oh.
He's missing an eye though.
Oh, little elephant.
I'm just blind too.
Oh.
And then I found my blanket too.
That's really sweet, Kelly.
But that would explain why I like making bears.
Why you like, yeah, and it's like how you refurbish them and you bring them back to life. That's really lovely.
So I was doing it.
Yeah, I like that. That's circles, right? We come through in circles. I love that.
Still smells like a baby smell too.
Oh, that's nice. Panther. Oh, Scott sent us
A poem? Is Scott send us a poem?
Maybe.
Wait, is Scott driving? Oh no, it's
No,
Scott.
different Scott.
It'd be funny if Scott was driving and sending us poems. You want to read this?
So this is from our friend. That I wrote this 4 years ago. A friend put it to music. That wasn't my musical vision. I wrote so many poems and songs. Most definitely not a gospel song. A song of desperation. Oh Lord. A ticket to my crucifixion. No sign for the world's resurrection. Oh Lord, oh Lord. I never meant no transgression. Oh Lord. The TV news of first world insurrection. Another man's life cut down by a corporation. Help us now on blended knee. I beg you now, I pray to thee. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. I see another man lost in debt underwater. We don't need another Asian slaughter. Another mother deep in drugs lost her daughter day by day on life's teeter-totter. Oh Lord, oh Lord, oh Lord. Welcome back in time to Orwell's 1984. Social media's ripped off my bedroom door. Billionaires messing with our genetic code to reduce Earth's numbers, frail load. Oh Lord, oh Lord. Ah, that was really good, Scott. Thanks for sharing that. I didn't mean to cry so hard, sorry.
Can't say much. It's nice that you cry over my poems, I guess.
You hit on like really big feelings, and then I'm really like blown away by how we come, like, because this was
Well, it's
like,
also interesting to think about like how these poems wouldn't mean as much to anybody but us. But it's nice that they got collected, which is 100% you, because I don't collect them, I write them and
because I'm a hoarder.
chuck them aside.
Do we go 9:36 or 26?
I think I got one more painting in me.
Oh.
I don't know what to paint.
Little boy in a little red wagon.
Okay.
Little boy, little
I feel
red.
like I've painted the little boy in the little red wagon 1,000 times. Okay, go.
Little boy, little red wagon to the rhino. Oh, that would be a really nice. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah.
To the rhino. You can climb in my wagon. The rhino said thank you and got in. It was heavy. Little boy, little red wagon to the hippo. You too can climb in. The hippo said thank you and got in. Even more heavy. Little boy, little red wagon said to the billy goat, there's room, climb in. The billy goat thanked him and did indeed, and at the end of the road, the billy goat, hippo, rhino, and the little boy with the wagon came upon the man in the suit. Please, sir, would you help me pull? Not a chance, said the man. That's too bad, said the little boy, sweating but still smiling. You'll want to ride with us soon.
Tell us again, suit. Okay. I'm gonna need some help.
Rhino?
Yeah. It's a rhino, a goat, and a what?
Hippo.
Good Lord. Hoo-wee! Mm-hmm. I need a rhino sitting on his butt. Butt. That's what I need. They have a weird shaped head. Hold on, hold still. It's like a hump and then a down, like a horse. Oh, got it. That was remarkable.
It's like a unicorn, isn't it?
Well, it is a unicorn. As they called hippos the water horse. And obviously, if the hippo can be a water horse, then why wouldn't they think a rhino was a horned horse? That all comes down to translation. There's a couple times this week where like my hands just made the artwork, and I'm like, I didn't know I could do that. Like the painting you're working on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, don't move that, please. I was 100% being like a warm up for when I actually did it, and then it worked out. right?
Mhm.
And then I looked at it and I go, oh, that was a lot better than I thought it would be. Okay, so rhino
Hippo?
and hippo. Yeah, hippo.
Look at that guy.
He's nice, yeah.
Just like a little dude sitting.
Little birdie. Yeah, hippos are like currently awkward. What did Kelly say?
Oh, here, I got you. She was checking something and then it unplugged.
She got bumped.
There you are.
Is it sounding better now?
Yeah, we can hear you good.
Okay, I had to unplug it and then plug it back in.
User error number 1. Check the plug. Reboot. What?
I love this so much. Oh my god, I'm dying.
It's weird that you're watching it with on the screen. Like I see you looking up. I'm like, what are you even looking at that you love so much? All right, well, there's still room for me to screw it up with my goat, isn't there?
Oh, a goat can never screw it up. Goat?
Let's see the goat.
Classic. Is a goat going to be like...
What?
Really go.
Wah, wah.
Cat pictures? Off. Oh my god.
Okay.
Which, like,
One of
sitting,
this,
like...
one of this.
She has the cone of shame, unfortunately.
Sorry, what, Kelly?
Sorry, Kelly?
She has the cone of shame.
Oh, cone of shame.
Yeah, she's got a thing on her, some sort of bacterial infection on her arm. She licked her arm and then all the fur came off.
I would love it if you don't.
So I have to wash it and then put a little ointment on it, which is okay. She gives me her arm willingly now.
That's good.
And then she gets a treat afterwards. So she's like, yep, I get a treat every time.
That makes sense.
Don't want to know about the pet sores. Please stop telling about the pet sores. Didn't go to the pet store because I didn't want to hear about pet sores.
Can I
Have it?
and then read this to my class tomorrow in English?
I'm surprised
Yeah.
you guys don't adopt a hamster or something.
No, no.
I know.
Okay.
Little hamster.
Hamster. I had a hamster. He was the most pain in the butt little hamster.
Do you know that? Listen, can I tell you something about hamsters? Do you have a hamster?
I did. I had actually a hedgehog.
Do you have a hamster now?
No, I don't have them anymore, but
It won't spoil your hamster experience. But did you know that wherever people get hamsters from, at the very same time, when they're shipping the hamsters over here, they ship back gophers. And wherever the hamsters come from, they get like shiploads of gophers that they use as pets in that space. So like where we think of like gophers as pests, somewhere in the world they think of hamsters as pests, and they get rid of their pests by mailing them here to be pets. And at the same time, we mail our pests back to them.
Pest exchange.
And I'm willing to admit that might not be true.
have you guys ever taken Felix to Cobb's Adventure Park where you can see the roos, the kangaroos?
No, we have not.
They have kangaroos, sloths,
Where is it?
very hard aardvark or something.
Where is it?
16th. Just off of 16th. It's called Cobb's Adventure Park.
How are they for ethical treatment of their animals?
Oh, they're aggressive.
The rescues.
Yeah. So they rescued a few. They also go to different zoos and like they don't want them in the zoo. They want them to kind of live out a life. Like some of them have been, I don't know, but they had started with 10, and now they have 60.
What's the name of the park that did run into some ethical problems?
Hmm?
What's the name of the park that did run into some ethical problems?
There was one in Three Hills.
Where's that?
Three Hills Park, I think.
What did they run into?
They had a rescue out there a while back. I never went, so I don't know.
I guess that's my fear about those parks is that like
Well, Cobb's is good because they're a rescue and they're actually an educational thing. So they have kids that come with schools and they educate people.
did you also ever go to the wolf sanctuary?
No, I want to actually.
We'll take you.
Oh.
The next time we'll all go together.
I eventually will go. I just haven't had time.
After you finish your reading.
Yeah,
So,
after I finish reading. When I can find the book.
it's on your kitchen table.
No. We
Then
haven't.
you hid it so you wouldn't have to do your homework.
No, it's probably maybe Luna's probably sitting on it somewhere.
When I meet your mother, I'm going to ask if you did your homework when you were a kid. Willingly.
Oh, I always do my homework every time. Willingly. That was the first thing I got excited to do is homework.
Like to do. I did not do homework. It was a very bad.
Homework was fun.
Sorry.
But yeah, that's a good place to go. There's albino kangaroos.
You say I find out what?
Kangaroo. A wallaby, sorry.
Where those are not animals that are native to this land. How are they saving them?
They just
They steal them from another place.
no, they're not stealing them. They're saving them.
Like maybe someone else brought them over from their
They
home.
have sloths as well, eh? They
Yeah.
saved those. They had a baby sloth named Mabel.
We gotta listen to
I'll send you a link to them, and you guys can check them out if you want.
Cool.
okay.
Thanks, Kelly.
Oh, it's 9:40.
That was really nice night. I think I cried like 5 times.
That's good.
But we also laughed. And thank you so much for sharing the night with us. Thanks for hanging out with us, Kelly.
See you guys later.
What I'm gonna do that I did all night.
What? Nice. And thank you so much, Scott, and thank you, Amanda, and thank you everyone who joined us at the Isle of Roux. And that is an incredibly beautiful thing.
I do find it strange that you keep looking at it on screen instead of in person. Just
Can I tell you an
Just look
extra
over here.
weird thing?
What?
I didn't see the goat until I looked at it on screen.
Mm.
It was really weird.
What does that mean?
Like I couldn't see it. I couldn't all of a sudden I looked up. I was like, "Oh, there's a goat!" And I was like, and then I looked and then I could of course see it, but I didn't see it. I was like, it was weird.
Let me see.
Oh. Little boy.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Oh, you want to sing?
Oh,
Maybe just this.
Screaming. Well, early in the morning, by the break of day, I asked the Lord, help me find a way.
Help me find the way.
Help me find a way
To the promised land.
to the promised land.
This lonely body.
This lonely body
Needs a helping hand.
needs a helping hand.
I ask the Lord to help me please.